Alright guys, here we're going to talk about Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 1, Episode 6.
Did we go into the fact that he actually has the hand now? Because we talked about them making the hand. But he's literally got the hand. At the end of last episode, part of what they do is they present him with the hand.
Yeah.
And they talk about it, and he goes, and does the whole things or whatever, and shows off the stupid power glove.
And he did use the screwdriver, which I don't remember him ever using anything in there. And maybe there's more things that I just couldn't recall. But that was interesting. I was like, okay, he's that. And the way he uses it, you'd think there would be a... there's no real adjustment period. He's very quickly eating using a fork and a knife.
He's going nuts.
And you think that like when they mention like, oh, you're really housing those pancakes or whatever, he'd be like, yeah, man, got my
I got two hands.
whatever.
I'm gonna enjoy it while I can.
Exactly, like some sort of a comment. But no, it's just like, yeah, I'm hungry, bitch. Like
I know.
You think that, like he's probably never been able to, or has not been able to use a fork and a knife at the same time in quite some time.
Exactly. Everything you're saying, I had the exact same experience literally for every point. Where I was like, oh, the hand, what? The whole thing,
But I like it.
So this is more of that thing. I'm totally on board with the theory that these were conceived of as like longer episodes that they've cut up or whatever.
Okay.
Because again, we get the bit of like the Ruby thing and the cop and like the horrible CG skeleton of the Brujo.
That is actually the worst.
Yes.
Very bad.
And he's talking to Ruby as if he's in on it. I guess he's a Deadite now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but they don't the whole thing. So he comes out and like ends up dragging her into the fire and all that stuff, and she's just gone for.
But impossibly into the fire. Like there's not enough space for her to be in.
I know. Yeah. Because the cop goes over and was like, "What's going on there?" Oh, it's flat. There's just wood. Weird. Fine. I know that she comes out of that fire at some point. I was waiting for it. As like a button on this episode, and it's not there yet. So I
think it's the open of the next episode. Her hand like bursts out of the ashes or something, and she comes out like is like dirty and naked. I can't remember.
Hey, Lucy Lawless, I'll take it. And so the cop speeds away. She sees like the trailer like in the distance. And goes, "Oh, we just missed him. Fuck!" And runs out of there. There's still also like rewatching this because I know where Ruby's character is going and all that stuff. It's probably the only thing that's serving as a spoiler of any sort.
Yes,
because. They're playing it like you might think she's a misguided holy warrior, just like the cop is a misguided Earth lawmaker.
Yeah, that's definitely what I thought the first run through.
And now I know this is all just a big like thing. So all those shots of like Ruby in the house and there's like a noise and she turns around kind of like scared or whatever. Like she's not like scared of Deadites. She's like, wait, is that the thing I want? Like it's a whole different. I'm like reinterpreting the whole thing now, right? And that's been the like biggest difference on the rewatch, I think, right? Between like my memories of my first experience of being like, whoa. So spoiler alert, if you're watching along with us, Ruby's a bad guy or whatever. But knowing that
the best way to announce a spoiler alert is moments after you say it.
That's how I try to do it. I say, by the way, if you didn't want spoilers, you shouldn't have watched this that I just said before. Yes.
I put an ending title card spoiler.
Right? Exactly. But most of this takes place, right? The cop catches up with them. They're at a diner. Yeah. That's where we're talking about him housing those pancakes, all their business. Yeah,
there's an interesting bit where like when the shit first hits the fan in the diner and like everything kind of explodes. Like right when he's about to, when he's saying like meet me in the bathroom and all that shit, like that kind of craziness happens and like explosion, like ice skate kills a person and all that weirdness. I was like, what the fuck even was that? Like how that happened? It was very unclear as to what was happening. And you just kind of let it go. You're like yeah, whatever.
No, and like everyone somehow gets hit in the head and killed instantly by different things, seemingly, and you're like, okay, that's fine. Right. These are the kinds of moments that make you think like, well, if the evil deadness can just do that, why doesn't every building Ash walks into
really
explode,
the issue,
right?
is that if the evil can just go into any person's body, and I get maybe it can't go into Ash because Ash has the flicker of light or whatever in him, but like it could easily go into his two friends.
Yeah, like or right maybe away. They're protected by the
because it jumps into like everyone around, and maybe like it's mostly after that people are dead. It jumps into them, but it has the ability to clearly jump into people when they're not dead too.
Seemingly right. So what's the I don't know.
It's just protection of the plot.
Because his boss didn't die, but he was possessed from the store, right? So I don't know. Anyway, it's tough, right? Because I'm usually very hard on those things, but that's usually in the absence of something to balance it out and make it
Yeah,
good or
and this
whatever.
is also under the guise of a comedy, so I'm a lot
Yeah.
more forgiving with things because it's
Right.
not this like, oh, I gotta this
Yeah,
defense of
yeah.
the plot in my action or my horror or my whatever. It's like, well, why wouldn't
Yeah.
that? It's a comedy.
Because those other genres are asking you to feel along with this character this sense of danger and like these real
And
stakes
a belief
all that
in
stuff.
something that does,
Exactly.
like, you're like, if I don't believe in it, it doesn't make any
Yes,
sense.
but a comedy is just asking you to like take you on the journey and then enjoy the jokes and the quips and all that stuff.
And I do.
So you don't need to be like, well, wait a minute though. I thought the book was this, and now the book's that. What's going on? Like you don't really need that. You just say,
Yeah.
oh, a funny thing's happening. By the way, the book tries to eat Paulo's
The
medallion.
Bruno's necklace,
from
yeah.
his thing. I'm like, okay, wow, okay, cool. And they fucking just take every heavy object in this trailer and put it on the trunk to try to
That
keep
trailer
it
is
contained.
impossily big
It's
too. Every
ridiculous,
time they
right?
show us, them like sitting on
When
the
they do
bed
a
or whatever,
thing, yeah.
I'm like, it is so wide. It's like 2 lanes wide.
That's almost one of the jokes, I think, right? Is it's like ridiculously large, and there's so many things in it that they can
Yeah.
do stuff with or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would almost want that little like yeah, I want a fake trailer in the backyard that's actually 35 feet wide. Like
It's like a TARDIS. It's like
Yeah.
ridiculous, yes. But I like that too. That's
yeah,
fine.
no, it has a cool aesthetic to it. There's always just shots getting blown through the walls that are just magically healed in the next episode.
And he's like, I just taped that up and all that stuff. Yeah.
Duct tape can't not solve
Duct
nothing.
tape can fix literally everything. So at the diner, the whole set piece and all that stuff, we talked about it. I was really, so like part of me was like, this is fine, right? But you have these two parallel like good things happening or whatever, right? Outside, we have Kelly talking to Pablo, and Pablo's been very like standoffish and weird. And he's
been
like,
disturbed by her
Yeah.
sexual
and he's like,
advances and murder attempts.
he literally said, when he goes, no, I'm having a great day or whatever, his like thing, I was like laughing at that. And then when he explains like, you tried to fuck me and then you tried to kill me. Now killing me I understand, but the other things got me really messed up or whatever, that whole business. I was
Yeah.
like, that's great. And then he lays out the whole thing about the smoking weed out of a shotgun, and she goes, whoa, that is awesome or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I like this chick. This chick's cool. But he accuses her of just wanting like revenge on the Deadites and sabotaging things, and I'm like, that's a little extreme at the moment. I don't know why.
Her character, though, also much like Ash, is sometimes like Ash gets
Yeah.
portrayed as kind of an idiot too much for me. She has a wild swing of personality. It seems a lot too.
Yeah.
Like in other scenes, you wouldn't think she'd be like awesome, da da da. Like
Right,
she goes from
right.
like badass to not badass to like throwing out lines that are a little bit outside of her wheelhouse. Like she says something in this one about like oh, you'll be stuck with this ugly mug, and I'm like, that's not something you would say. I'm like, was that one of Ash's lines that just got slipped over?
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing I don't like
a
too
little
much
loose.
is that Ash. I understand he's like the reluctant hero and shit should happen to him, but like they do the gross out stuff to Ash too much, like the almost making him seem like a loser too much. Where I'm like, he's not a loser.
How so? What's the?
Like his face gets knocked into the piss trough.
Yes.
I would prefer
Yes.
things like that not happen to Ash, because like I don't know about anybody
Oh.
watching this, but to me, I grew up thinking Ash was like this cool guy. He was like
Okay.
the hero. I was like, yeah, you
Sure,
want to be
sure.
like Ash, and then like they just really like shit on that legacy a little bit too hard, I think, in the
Nice.
show.
Yeah, I think that they're going for a thing where he's old and washed up, but you're saying like they're smearing literally and
A
figuratively
little bit.
a little too much.
A
Yeah,
little
no,
bit.
I totally agree with you like on that because like after we watched this independently, your thing about like I don't see why he would read from the book though. Why after 30 years would he? Was this the first time he got stoned? This is crazy. Ash wouldn't
Yeah.
do that. Ash understands
No.
how this works. This is like the one bad thing he's ever whatever.
Because
Right?
Ash is like one of those guys I like very much. I think the heroes of the cinematic universes are.
Heroes of the 90s or whatever.
Well, no, just in general, cinematic heroes are important to me, especially ones that don't have superpowers, because they display to you that, like, as a child watching things, that, like, anybody can be a hero. These are things that are, like, it's about the person, not about the powers. Like, you have to just, you want to do good, you do good, this and that.
Frickin' believe in yourself.
And Ash is one of those heroes to me,
Yeah.
where I'm like, nah, he is a guy, and he takes on all of evil. Like, literally, he takes on evil.
Evil itself.
And
Yes.
like, that's super awesome to me. And
Yeah.
so I don't like him being made out to be this bungling fool all the time. And granted, he is a goofy guy, and he does do things that are kind of dumb sometimes. I'm not saying don't ever do those things to him, but I would like it to be a little bit more groovy and a little less piss in the face.
Yeah, there's a part here I actually had a moment too where I was like, he snaps back and forth between like giving like real advice and like good talking to like his other talking or whatever, which he should do that other type of talking to the Deadites and to the waitress and to everybody else. But he seems to be like flopping back and forth in a way that I did not quite care for or something like that. I like his like pitch to the waitress though. Can I string your racket, all that stuff? That's some choice Bruce Campbell.
I like
stuff.
I like furthermore when like my husband's right over there. He goes, "Gotcha, gotta keep this on the."
And he fucking like to say he doesn't skip a beat. He like steps on her beat a little bit. He's
Yeah.
like, "I read you loud and clear, honey. We gotta keep on the down low. So I'll meet you there in 3. We got this or whatever."
In
She's
the
like,
men's room, 3 minutes.
"Yeah, exactly." No.
But like she also never denies him or
It's-
says like you have to pay.
I know.
So presumably it was gonna work.
Presumably
Who
she was
knows?
down. Yeah. No, but the whole pitch, the whole way he does it, and he's like $22.89 or like he doesn't know the amount.
Worth
but
at
it's all
least
thing.
double that.
Worth probably double, like whatever. No, he's like that type of stuff is something you can't just write it and you can't just like deliver it. It has to be done. By certain people that can like.
Yeah, he's got a great amount of
handle it.
charisma that can handle those kind of a line.
Yeah.
That would sound kind of like when she says this ugly mug, like where it
Yeah,
sounds like a
exactly.
red line, not a like delivered
Right.
like that's like a 3-course meal of a line.
And I think it's like a cooperative thing almost, where they know, or like the Raimis or the Raimi friends or whatever, whoever's doing this exact moment, like they know what he's capable of and how he's going to do it, and they
They have a little checklist. It says Bruce Campbell capable of anything. You're like, all right.
Of anything. Select all. Yes. Yeah.
He's got a great power of ham, and he can just like knock those lines out.
That's what in like Burn Notice too. Same deal.
Yeah.
He's able to deliver certain things. Strike 3, you're out of a job. When he's like pretending to
it's
be
just a bunch of whiny little bitches.
So everything blows up. He fights all these people.
Yes.
The fight scene's pretty good. I like him killing the kid in the fan. It's dumb, but it's like a thing.
Well, he's like, no.
Yeah.
I love whenever he gets thrown the chainsaw, and it's like that motion of one shot clicking
And
in
they
this
play
thing.
it,
It's like perfectly sockets.
They play it in like reverse. No, so like outside things come together. They do the stuff. They realize something's wrong. They rush in. We get this awesome. The music ramps up. Order up, and she throws Ash's like implements of like fighting evil and all that stuff. And he goes
Does
into
his
it.
spinny shotgun move.
Yeah, does all the moves, does all the things. But things take like kind of a different turn. We like break up into multiple fights, and I wrote down like Kelly in there with the deli slicer and then the mallet, and like that alone's like one thing, right? But I love when there's another thing, right? So then it shows both of their heads through the circular window doors, watching her like, she has issues. She needed that. Those whole things.
Yeah,
it's nice. I hope that there's elsewhere in this episode, unless you had anything else to talk about.
No, go ahead.
Lem, the like military weird guy, is there
Yes.
or whatever. And this is foreshadowing from my memory of elements of season 1 or maybe 2 even that I didn't like. There's some sort of like jeeps and guys with guns and like a whole thing or something like that.
I think
right?
that's the next episode.
Oh, great. Okay, so like I remember not liking that
Doesn't
part.
like the Deadites kill all of the militia?
Maybe? I remember being like, ugh, I don't like this direction we're going in or something
I can't 100% remember how it plays out, but I remember so he was on the phone with one of his boys from the militia, and they prep up for whatever the war is.
Yeah.
And then Ash had gotten the location of the base, and he I think heads there to try to find some guns or some bullshit.
Yeah, we need to arm up or whatever.
Yeah.
We get some nice like Snorri Cam and Sam Raimi vision going through the woods, and he dies and all that stuff. But I have a vague but pungent memory of being like, I like this Evil Dead-y stuff like you're saying, where it's like the cocky, impossible hero fumbling his way, but like swaggering his way through winning. And now with these young people, it's like a Blade 3 situation where we got the veteran and a new group doing stuff their own way. They've proven themselves capable, right, in this diner fight. Pablo's sliding across the floor shooting, and Kelly's like bum rushing the other one, like they're doing stuff.
I
and
love
I'm
that
like, yeah.
slide, that like impossibly
Impossible.
long slide.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Ridiculous.
not to win. Like,
No.
that's the combo where
Yeah.
it is the action movie slide, but he doesn't kill her.
Exactly. No, the whole like it's like a video game even like slide. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. But that's the kind of stuff, right? That's what you want. You want people to be like, oh, I thought that would be cool. Oh no, and then like the Deadite just goes ha 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 and like runs at them and all
Yeah.
that. Oh shit and all that stuff. That all works really well for me. Once there were like a bunch of people and guns and facilities and stuff, and then they're trapped in a thing. I remember there being like some stuff where I was like, ugh, I don't like this or whatever. But we'll see if it's next episode and if I hate it or not.
Indeed.
Anything else you can remember or want to talk about?
No, I think that's about it. But it does end where we do get the group of 4, which I don't know how long
Okay.
that happens, because I don't have a
Maybe
solid
only
memory
a brief
of it.
time.
But they're all 4 in the
'Cause
car.
Last time when you said I think it's only a trio, I was like, oh, I think you're right. And then the very next episode, he's like, hey, babe, you want to come with me? And then they get the little like, I'd love to string your racket. And he's like, that sounds great. What? And all that stuff.
Yeah. But I don't remember her being around too long. Like, and she definitely dies at some point.
I can't picture her like in the trailer even for some reason, right? So I don't know what's going
I don't
on
know.
there. But so
Could be memory playing tricks, though.
I-
It's been a couple years.
I recall everybody ending up in like a house and having to like defend or do something or whatever. I think she might get possessed or killed there,
I don't
or she
know.
might save one of them there and do something. I don't know. But
We'll find out soon enough.
the good part is that she's, seemingly after finally, right, she's going to stop trying to arrest him
Well, let's not jump the gun.
for at least a little while,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we didn't mention like one of the people in the diner is like a local or like the head of the cop area wherever they are or something like that, who came in and then like he was like, you're off duty, what are you doing? And he's like, holy crap, it is him, let's go. And then like everything all
Ash
like
makes
hell
the
breaks
perfect
loose.
face to look exactly like the cartoon.
Those are those little delicious touches and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So it seems like the evil is like trying to keep Ash on his path almost or something like that, because he was going to get arrested and end up stuck in a jail cell, but they're like, no, we have to do whatever.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in the book then? It'll be like in evidence lockup. Hurry.
I don't take it.
Coincidence?
I think it is
Yeah.
more a coincidence, because I think they would very easily be able to take it from an evidence lockup.
just
I think
figure it
Ash
out.
is the only thing stopping them from getting this book.
They should have let him get arrested then.
I don't know if they even know that it's happening.
Yeah, I
I
think
it just
they-
coincidentally is kind of like Ash is bungling its way through life.
Yeah.
And they're just bungling their way through the afterlife.
No, and the incompetence of them at times is like a big selling point for me too, where they're not omniscient and pulling the strings.
Yeah.
They are dirty. They do curse. They do complain. They do make fun of people and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, guys,
see
so
what
that is
happens.
this episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.